Hello, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and that was Scott Nygaard you just heard play on this beautiful Bourgeois guitar that I'm holding here. And I want to tell you a little bit more about this guitar. This guitar is part of Bourgeois' relatively recently introduced Luthier's Choice series of instruments. And you may have seen my demo of the OMSC version that has come out in that line a little earlier this year. And what this line really is a type of guitar. They're all one-off instruments, custom guitars that are designed by Dana Bourgeois himself. And it really kind of incorporates some of these more forward-thinking modern ideas than what you would see in an ordinary Bourgeois guitar, at least as far as the outward appearance of the guitars go. Bourgeois guitars have always been very innovative instruments in terms of their construction, the internal bracing and all these kind of elements. But you wouldn't be able to tell from the appearance of the guitars in most cases. So what Dana's done with these Luthier's Choice guitars is to combine the experience that he's had in building relatively traditional instruments with some of these new elements. And this is a beautiful example of that, as was the OM version of this guitar. So let's take a closer look. So as you can probably tell, this guitar follows the general dreadnought outline, even though it has a cutaway, which isn't that commonly found on Bourgeois dreadnoughts. Some other dreadnoughts have them, but certainly wouldn't be part of a traditional guitar. But it's sort of the first step in creating a slightly more modern guitar targeted to contemporary players. The other very noticeable factor is the oval sound hole, and that is not just a visual element, but it turns out that the opening of this sound hole is exactly the same as on the large sound hole design that Bourgeois offers on both their dreadnoughts and their OMs. So you kind of get the larger opening surface in a slightly different shaped format to this. The guitar also has an armrest bevel, which have become fairly common on smaller guitars, Luthier-made guitars, but this may be the first dreadnought that I've seen it on, and that certainly helps a lot in making the guitar a little bit more comfortable than a standard dreadnought. And another element to that effect is that the guitar has OM depth, so it's slightly shallower than a standard dreadnought would be. And all these elements together combine in creating a guitar that not only has a more contemporary look than a traditional guitar, but it also really facilitates easier playability and playing comfort. So I mentioned that the Luthier's Choice guitars are all one-off guitars. In this particular case, the guitar is built with an Adirondack spruce top and Indian rosewood back and sides. Very, very beautiful Indian rosewood, evenly grained, that beautiful rich chocolatey color that high-quality Indian has. And similar for the top, it's Adirondack, but it's fairly tight-grained for Adirondack top. If what you're used to seeing is that very wide-grained Adirondack, this might make you think that it is Sitka, but a really beautiful top, a little bit of bear clawing all the way around, and just beautiful coloring as well. Very, very nice Adirondack top. On the more traditional side of the appointments of the guitar has Dana's DB signature herringbone purfling all the way around the top. It has ivoroid binding on both the body and the fingerboard. You notice that the fingerboard is completely plain. There's no inlay on the face of the fingerboard, although there are position markers on the side, of course, which creates just a very clean appearance all the way around. The guitar has these elliptical lines around the rosette, which are somewhat similar, though a little bit simpler than what the OMSC Odyssey had, but it's nice to see that theme kind of continuing on this guitar. You'll also notice that the peghead shape departs from Bourgeois' traditional design. It's kind of an asymmetrical shape. It's not quite squared off at the top, but has a slightly rounded surface area up here. And the peghead veneer on the face of it is Madagascar rosewood, very beautiful. And the guitar uses standard Waverly open back tuners. On the inside, the guitar uses the double X back bracing pattern, which is a departure from traditional ladder bracing of the back. And we also saw this on the OMSC Odyssey, and it's something Dana has been implementing, and he feels that it allows him to control the way that the back is going to move and vibrate a bit more than standard back bracing would, and kind of create a back that's a little bit more fine-tuned than would otherwise be possible. The top bracing is Dana's standard dreadnought X bracing, and one thing that Dana does that's a bit different from the way most people do their top bracing is that only one side is scalloped and the other one is a straight brace pattern. So again, these are all elements that Dana has developed over several decades of building guitars, with the goal really being a more balanced instrument, a more microphone or recording friendly instrument, and in most cases, they've been sort of snuck into a more traditional looking package. And in a way, what you can do is you can look at a guitar like this Odyssey as an instrument where the appearance of the guitar finally kind of matches all the innovative things that have been happening on the inside of these guitars. This certainly is a lovely balanced instrument, regardless of how you play it. You heard Scott playing it with a flat pick, and certainly it has that traditional dreadnought vibe when you play it like that. I've also been enjoying playing it fingerstyle. I'm in drop D tuning right now, and it has a quick response and a nice balance and a nice tight bass that lends itself well to being played other than with a flat pick as well. One thing I'm definitely noticing as I'm playing the guitar fingerstyle is the comfort of just holding the guitar. Much more relaxing than a standard dreadnought, both due to the slightly shallower depth, but the armrest bevel really helps. Probably makes a more noticeable difference than it does on a smaller guitar. And certainly if I was going to play further up the fingerboard, having the cutaway would facilitate that. So very cool design. I really like seeing Dana kind of branching out of what he's been doing for so long, and has been doing well for so long. So applying the expertise and the manufacturing capability that he's developed to these new Odyssey designs is just very cool, and I think this is a very unique and forward-thinking dreadnought that I can't wait to see what else he might be doing with these. Let's go out with Scott Nygaard playing the guitar a bit more with a flat pick. That's really what dreadnoughts shine with, and regardless of the modern design, it's very suitable to being played in a more traditional way. My name is Teja Gerken. Please come back here for more of our gear demos. We'll see you next time. Thank you.